Good afternoon, all. Thank you for joining our today's webinar on rapidly creating new designs and reusing existing ones. I'm Sairam, working as team lead here for Alton products here at GSAS Microsystems, located in Bangalore. And today's session is under recording. If anyone having any questions during the presentation or during the demonstration, please type your questions in the chat. We'll discuss at the end of the session. Now, let us get started. Today, our agenda is we're going to discuss about the how we can divide the schematic into blocks and what and all circuits are often reused and how to find circuit fragments among many projects, followed by a demonstration. If you look at the dividing the schematics into blocks, starting a new project can be difficult. There are a lot to consider, and it can be little overwhelming. Where do you begin? A good way to start is break up your project into small pieces. By breaking up your design into smaller, more manageable pieces, you can actually make more sense of your design logic. This can really simplify even the most complex designs. What's nice about doing things this way is that you can assign different logical blocks to different people so everyone can work on the project at once. And if you are designing in parallel, you are saving time, nodes in a common scheme, defining input and output parameters, functional blocks. You can turn the circuit upmost elementary fragment in this way. Even within each of those schematic blocks, you can continue to break down your circuitry into most basic building blocks. So for the next time you need to create some sort of schematic, you can place your different circuit blocks and build out a schematic very quickly. RTM Designer allows you to save these building blocks using snippets, which you can save directly to RTM 365, or you can simply just copy and paste from one schematic to another with different page features and annotation features. Getting the copied circuitry to fit your design is pretty easy. Now let us discuss about the what circuits are often reused. If you see here, snippets works well and are particularly useful in following circuit types when talk about IC decoupling. So instead of recreating blocks of decoupling capacitors, we can quickly place them down at once and then using the properties quickly change values if needed. Power converter circuits are another circuit type that stay relatively the same with each design. And depending on the design, you can have a few of these for different power outputs. So it's nice to just be able to place those down and start wiring up your schematic with no calculations needed. Connector pinouts are many types the same. There may even be some standard pinouts you can often use it. The previous example had for the schematic, but using snippets, you can also place down parts of the PCB layout, including components, traces, polygons. This works well with something like if you had the layout for a USB connector that use often, you can place it down and save yourself some time. And of course, you can always adjust if needed. This snippets works well also when it comes to reusing mechanical components, oftentimes connectors, things that can restrict the board shape, like in the example above. If you are ready made solution, this will help you to save time and development and debugging by using known good and approved sources. So if there is a problem, you can rule out these reused blocks because you know that they work by having these commonly used and reused circuit blocks. It simplifies purchasing and logistics. You know where you can buy these parts from. You have your approved vendors, and you know that you are not being sold counterfeits. And if you have your own warehouse, you can have less components to hold and keep track of, and you can keep what you need in the stock. And most importantly, it saves times and money. Now, how to find the circuit fragments among many projects? We know the benefits. We know some common circuit. This works really well. But how you find the circuits among our existing projects? Finding these project fragments may vary depending on how big your company is. If you are a small operation where it's just you and you are working on a small number of projects where you start one project, finish, and then start another, you will probably have everything in view. If you have any sort of organization, you should be able to find things in a medium-sized organization where you have 5 to 10 designers sharing and knowing where common reusable circuits can be difficult to find. You can have several projects going on at once with designers working in parallel. So again, design use solutions or reusable circuit may not be known by most or all designers. In large companies, you have designers that don't even know one another where projects are divided up by different areas, and searching for reusable circuitry really becomes impossible, and teams are not a productive, and you will probably come across similar circuit as people are reinventing the wheel and duplicating effects. Some of the potential challenges when it comes to a small company is the increase or decrease in staff. If someone leaves, then the new person will have no idea where anything is. And the same thing for it, you increase the number of projects, the number of people, except that the original designers will just be bombarded with questions of, do you have this? Where can I find that? And if the number of projects increases, it gets more difficult to track. When you can do through is using Altium 365. Altium 365 is a platform that integrates with Altium Designer and allows you to view, store, and securely manage your design files. And we can also manage your components in the cloud. You can see the component. If you use the component managed in the Altium 365, you can have various traceability, and you can able to reuse the same kind of circuitry by using the various functions in the Altium 365 cloud component management, which I will show you in the demo. This is what we talked various feature which will help you to link the related projects where this component will use, so that we can able to reuse the circuitry thanks to various feature which will help in the Altium 365 Pro subscription. Altium 365 is integrated with Altium Designer, and you can track components either on a web browser or in the Altium Designer. You can see here the highlighting part. We have accessible component. It will display the component availability. I mean pricing, stock availability, and also we have an option where you can to see where this project to use, so that you can browse the project and you can reuse the circuitry by the snippets. Now let us have a quick demo of this feature, how we can able to use the designs with help of the Altium designers capabilities. Now let us jump into the demo. I'm going to switch my screen to Altium designer. Yes. Yes, this is the Altium designer. The current version of Altium is 2.7. I hope you are using the same. Now, to access the components which are managed in the Altium 365 cloud, you can see here the my level of subscription is Pro, which will enable me to manage my components in the cloud, so that I can get the various functionality. To access the components panel, which help me to find the components managed in the cloud, I need to go to panels. I need to go to components. Here, you can see we have got some components, generic components available, where you can able to place it and you can able to complete the design faster, and then later you can assign the your required model. And we have a categories of components available inside the cloud will be shown here with the count of the component is available. And also we have got some offline libraries which are also uh, being added by me manually. And whereas these are the components are managed the cloud. Okay, with the category, each category having a dedicated template. And also, apart from the component cloud managing, we have also a panel by name manufacturer part search. This helps you to search for the components online. Along with the components, you'll be getting the symbol, footprint, and as well as 3D model. Uh, we'll get almost all information like supply information, pricing, stock availability, everything you get inside that into with a single click. Can this particular component life cycle and has model, that means schematic symbol, footprint, and different revisions, and data sheet and the all the parameters being able to have these components information with the symbol and footprint, whereas we'll be getting this pricing and stock availability by using the Acto part. If you have the a level of subscription to Pro, you'll be getting this manufacturer life cycle verified from IHS Market. Okay. Now let us move on to the components panel. Let us search for a connector which will be used basically in the industrial power and power controllers. I just want to type it the name. It's a barrier strip terminal, part name. At the center is a part which is available inside my workspace, which was released a few minutes back by me. And also, if the component is not available, here you can have an option. We can directly click on this. Directly, the manufacturer parts which panel will open, and you can able to get the component, and we can able to add it back to the your identify workspace. And we have got the parameters of the component and a schematic symbol, footprint with 3D model, and the page user functionality. You can see here, this showing here, it's been used in a project template. .przt stands for project template, where Ultimate 55 Pro enables you to maintain your templates for project, draftsman, component, layer stack-up. We can able to manage the same in the cloud. I have a project template which is been used this component in it, and also in these two projects also this particular component has been used. If I want to reuse the circuitry of this connector, just click on this DIN rail. It will open the Explorer panel and it will show the uh, product information and when it has been committed. You can to see the detailed information here. If you click on open in the Altium Designer, directly it will open inside the Altium Designer, and I can able to quickly go to the this particular circuit, and this is the connector which I have preferred, barrier stick terminal block, and I can see the same connector inside the PCB by pressing 3 for 3D. I can able to visualize the same here. Okay, you have the C3D, it's a DIN power rail, it's a power supply module, 24 volts, and this is the X1 is the connector where we need it for our design, so that I can able to go back to the circuit and I can able to reuse this circuit with help of the snippets I can do. Okay. Now let us create a project and let us see how we can able to reuse the circuitry with help of this existing. To create a project, I think you all will be knowing you need to go to File, New, and say Project. Here I'm going to store my project in the cloud workspace, and you can see, as I told, we can have the project templates also managed in the Ultimate workspace. I have a few templates where I'm going to use this default, and I'm going to give some meaningful name to this project. It is DIN Rail 12 volts. I'm going to give, and I want to add it a version control. If you want to add any parameters, you need to add the parameters which will be a part of the project. Okay. Now I just want to say create. Now the project is created here. I can now see here the project has been created, and I have a schematic sheet been added, and I could see the connector. This is the connector which we have used in the template, and the PCB here we have, and 2 for 2D and 3 for 3. You can have the connector with the mechanical enclosure is displayed, And if you go back to the components panel, you can, if you refresh this component, it will show the project of the existing one which you created. The name will be shown here. See here, this is the project which is being shown. Because when you pull any component from the Altin 365 Pro workspace, which are managed, and if the project also is managed in the workspace, you will see this where used so that you can quickly jump into the project and you can reuse the circuit. Okay, see how beneficial for you is. Okay, now let us switch for a let us start placing some components. As it is a power supply, we need to place some power factor, power related diodes or ICs. Now let us switch for a component which is named as power factor controller. Again, I will switch from here using power factor controller. I just hit enter. When I hit enter, again it is showing the power factor controller. This is the package name, and you can see here the the symbol and the footprint. And surprisingly, this also been used in the same project where our connectors are used. That various stick terminal in the DIN rail 24 volts and DIN rail AC/DC 48 volt power supply. As this particular IC has been already used in this particular projects. Let us have a look at the circuitry as it's been already. I just see when I click on this one, automatically the Explorer panel will open. It will display the information about the all the project. And if you click on open, it will directly open the RTM designer. As this been opened by us previously, there is a project. If you go to the PCB, this is the one power factor controller IC which is being used in this circuit. As this IC and what we going to use it both remain same. Why don't you use this circuit? That means why don't you copy and reuse this circuit? Yes, now I'm going to do the same. What I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this circuit where the ICs and other circuit, and I'm going to place it on the my design so that I can able to save some time. It depend upon your requirement. If this IC and the circuit which is connected is okay, then we can go ahead and reuse. Now, how I'm going to reuse the same is this. Here also we have got some uh, power supply, some fuse and transformer and a bridge rectifier and some converter we have here. I don't want these two circuit. I just want to have only this portion to be required. Then what I will do, I'll just hold leftmost click and just drag this circle where which circuit I want to have a copy. I just make sure it will be inside the rectangle. I just make sure everything is get connected. And I just use the Windows command Control C for copy. And I'm going to this particular set template where I want to do the circuit. And I will be using Control V to paste it where we have got some additional circuitry and delete it. Now see here, I got the same circuitry and also we don't need this one also, we just delete the transformer. You can see here, surprisingly here, I didn't get the schematic designate reset. But when you try to do the schematic designate reset, um, when try to copy and paste, the designators will get reset. Why I didn't get? There is an option we need to disable. For that, just go to the settings, we call it as preferences. Under preferences, just go to schematics, graphical editing. You disable this option, reset parameters, editors, and paste. If you disable this option, apply and OK, then what will happen when you copy and paste, the designator won't get reset. Okay, this is the one thing is important. You need to make sure when you are copying and pasting the circuit, if you don't want that designator to be reset. Okay, then now fine. Now we have copied the schematic. Now, what about the PCB? We have to do the placement and routing, right? Again, if you update the PCB there, again, you have to do the placement. Again, it will take time. Why don't we copy the the same placement and routing from the PCB which we are referring, and then you can straight away reuse it here. Before doing that, make sure you properly save your PCB circuit document. Now let us go to the that PCB file. See here, this is our D1. This is the D1 which we are copied, and this is the circuit which is being supporting this particular IC. Now we need to copy. Let us only enable the signal layers. Only these layers you want to copy this. Now let us copy this circuit and Control C to copy, and we use this origin as a reference to copy. Now it is being copied. Now we go back to the template and we just do Control V, and here we use the same origin as a reference to paste. But here, if you notice here, there is no net name uh, being copied, only the track are copied. Then how we can get the net name? Let us do undo, Control Z to do the undo of the project. And we use an option called paste special to get the net names. Just go to edit, paste special, and just use an option called, keep net name, and then click on paste. Now just set the center of the origin. Now see, we got the net names as well. Now if you enable all layers, you can able to see the components with the naming, and then press 3 for 3, you can able to visualize the same in the 3D. Okay, 2 for. Now let us enable only signal layers. Now this trace we don't need. Let us delete this trace. Okay. Now we need to do the synchronization of this PCB with the circuit, which is being schematics. Okay, we need to do the synchronization. Let me keep it this one aside. Yes, now we need to synchronize these two. Before that, let us save this PCB. Control S to save, or FS, or Control S, whatever you can click on this, you can save it. Now to link the schematic to the PCB, we have to go to when the PCB document, go to project and just say component links. When I say component links, here see automatically this X1 has got matched, and here there are few components. We are just told to enable it by designator. By designator, it will try to match it. Just click on add page match it by. But and we have some additional component VD2, which is not there in schematic. We'll just try to delete it manually. Now let's see perform update. Just click OK. Now let me enable all layers. Let me find VD2. Yes, this is the one which is not required. Okay. Now let me do again the project component links. See, now all are in sync. That means R schematic and R PCB are in sync. Okay, now if you click on this any component, it will cross-probe to the schematic. That means it will hide the schematics. Okay, this shows both are in sync. Okay, this is how you can able to do the component linking once we did the copy paste of circuit from schematics to from a other schematic to your this schematic, and from other design to the your design. This is the way you have to follow to you know sync your schematic in the PCB. Okay, this is how you can able to reuse the circuit inside the RDM designer. Okay, now once everything is completed, we just need to click on save to server. This helps you to synchronize our local changes with the cloud data. Just if you want to enter comments, enter. It is recommended to enter the comments so that you can have the history of what you have done at this particular point of time when you have it. Okay. Yes. Now let us talk about the manager sheets. Now let us search for a regulator. My name highly accurate voltage regulator from the components panel. Just enter. This is the regulator which I want to have it in this design. Now, if I see this regulator, this is my Altium feature workspace, and I have different footprints. This is the part information. And if you go to the where used, this component is being used in a managed sheet. That means I have a schematic sheet which is being created for reusing purpose. If I click on this particular schematic sheet, it will open the location where it is. This is the particular circuit, and this been not been used anywhere. Now, this circuit I want to reuse. Then how I can do it? Just right click on it. I can just click on place. It will come as a module. I can just click on left click to place. Okay. If you look at here, this been placed here, and you can see here this is the device sheet. If you control plus double click, this is the sheet which is being reusable sheet. That means we can't do edit. Okay. This is a this is a way able to reuse a whole schematic sheet as a block inside the RTM designer, where you can have a circuit which you want to reuse it for your next designs. We can create a one um, reusable device sheet, and that can be used whenever you require. You can able to pull it from the your export panel, which other circuits are required to reuse. Okay. And how we can the next thing is how we can able to create a snippets from a circuit. We have showed you how we can copy and paste. Then how we can create a snippets that will be used in the upcoming design. Suppose when you do copy and paste, it will be one time job. When you do the copy other object, this data will be overridden. But snippet will be stored in the location where it can be reused whenever you want. Maybe you can able to store in the local, where you can able to store in the RTM text file. Okay. Now, if you want to reuse the same circuit in future, just simply select the whole circuit which you want to reuse, and then right click on the selection and just go to snippets and create a snippet from the selected objects. And then you can choose the local, or you can choose the um, uh, workspace, and just this location where you're going to store, and just say create. When I say create, it's going to add this shoot the snippets folder in the alternate distributed workspace. To access this snippets data, just go to panels and just go to Explorer panel. And if you go to Explorer panel under design reuse blocks, we have two options: PCB snippets, schematic snippets. If you go to schematic snippets, you can see there are two circuits. This is the one which we have did now, and this is the one which I have did earlier. And also PCB snippets, I also having the snippet of this circuit, this one, so that if I place this circuit directly, automatically the PCB snippet also will get updated. If you want the same circuit snippet, you can also create it here. Okay, these are able to create a snippets for schematics and also PCBs, where you can able to manage and store in the alternative file, so that your team can also be able to use it. Okay, there is no kind of duplications. Okay, this is all about the rapidly creating new designs and reusing existing ones by using the Altium designer. Yes, uh, to summarize, we have showed you how you can able to, create a use review by using the templates. How you can able to place the existing circuit by using the various functionality inside the Alternate Designer, and also we have showed the how you can able to place the device sheets and how you can be able to create snippets from the existing circuit. Yes, we are open for the questions.